Hi, I'm Lisa McRee with the Skinny for Everyday Health. If you love hummus, that classic Middle Eastern mashup of chickpeas and tahini, lemon juice, garlic, and olive oil, I have a little good news, bad news, good news to share with you. The good news is chickpeas, which are also called garbanzo beans, happen to be one of the world's healthiest foods. They're packed with protein, they have antioxidants, fiber, even a little bit of iron. Now the bad news is when you take those chickpeas and you mix them with tahini and oil, you can really end up jacking up the fat and calorie count. In fact, most store-bought hummus has about 600 calories a cup. But the other bit of good news is by making your hummus at home, you can have that fantastic hummus that you crave, but just 200 calories a cup. For my first calorie slashing trick, we're going to substitute cauliflower for half of the chickpeas, because even though chickpeas are incredibly good for you, they can have about 300 calories a cup. Cauliflower, about 28. And we're going to puree it and mix it in with those other seasonings, and your family will never know the difference. Just going to give this a rough chop. Doesn't have to be pretty. Then what we're going to do is microwave it. It is absolutely the easiest way to cook cauliflower if you're going to puree it. You're not going to add any water. You're just going to put it in a microwave-safe bowl and sprinkle a little bit of salt. Not too much, just like a quarter teaspoon for this half a head of cauliflower. See, it's about 4 cups raw cauliflower, but once it's cooked down and been pureed, it's only going to be 2 cups. It's going to match the amount of beans. And we're going to take a plate and cover the bowl. If you have a microwave-safe dish that has a lid, go ahead and use it. I don't have one, so I just put a plate on top. Now, you're going to set your timer on your microwave for about 6 to 8 minutes. My microwave's a little sluggish, so I'll do 8. And while that cooks up, I'm just going to slice up some crudité. You can use any sorts of veggies your family likes best. We're going to do a little celery, a few carrots, and a bell pepper. I'll just tear some endive leaves up later and call it a day. Okay, that looks like it's about enough. Get them on the platter. My red peppers. And now I'm just going to check on the cauliflower. Now, when you start to take the lid off of your bowl, watch out for the steam. It can be a little intense. Okay, now here you have a choice. You could use a food processor to mash all this up, or you could just use an immersion blender and leave it in the same bowl. Because I hate to clean up all the time, I'm going to do it the easy way. First, we're going to take our chickpeas, and notice I did drain them, but I saved all the juice because in case it's too dry, you're going to want to add it back in later. Then, you're going to take just a teaspoon of salt and 2 teaspoons of garlic. And my next skinny trick, which is actually less magic and more just no-brainer, we're going to add in our tahini. But most recipes call for about 1/3 cup of tahini, which adds 500 calories to your hummus. So instead, we're going to cut that in half. Use about 3 tablespoons. Give this stuff a good stir before you measure it out because the oils and the solids tend to separate. Okay. We'll add the lemon after we get it pureed. Let's give it a whirl. I can already tell that I'm going to need a little bit more liquid. As you can see, it's a little thick. So let's just add a couple of tablespoons to start and see if we need more. I don't want it too runny either because I'm going to add some lemon juice, and we like a lot of lemon, maybe a tablespoon or two. Okay, before any lemon, tasting, see if it needs more salt too. Pretty good. The garlic is really intense. I'm going to add just a little bit more juice. It doesn't need any more salt. And you know, the salt can really vary depending on what kind of chickpeas you buy, because each manufacturer adds a different amount to the can. All right, I think it's time to add a little lemon and give it a stir. All right, let's taste it. See if it's good. It's great. Really taste the beans. Really taste the garlic. And that punch of lemon just gives it a nice brightness. We're gonna load it into our plate. When I serve this at home, at parties, I use crudité and I toast up some baked pita chips. Make it feel festive. But just day in and day out, I skip the pita and just stick with crudité. It makes a great kid's lunch or a snack. Pretty good in my lunch too. The last thing I'm going to do is put just a tiny bit of oil on top. I'm talking like a half a teaspoon. You want the pretty glistening oil to fool people into thinking you added more fat than you really have. And the nice sprinkle of parsley. You can also add pine nuts, which are really pretty and add a nice crunch as well. And there you have it, skinny hummus. If you like what you see, then like us and subscribe. Just hit that button and we'll let you know when we post new videos. For these recipes and more, go to skinny.us.com.